What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's your boy Cris with my guy Clarence. We got a special guest coming in today. Today is going to be a little different, with the circumstances of last night's game. But we're going to try to get through this Chiefs Kingdom and try to get through, get to this game that's happening on Saturday for now. As we know, it's happening this Saturday. So let's talk Chiefs.
Yeah. Arrowhead Chiefs. It's your girl, Miss Nicole. Queen of Hustle, baby. Started from the bottom, now we here. My homie at the start of his career. Let's go. Try to warn him early, hear the truth. Tune in every Sunday for the juice. Arrowhead Chiefs podcast, bringing all the news. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Cris out here repping for the crew. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's your boy Cris. My guy Clarence will be here in a few minutes. But today we got a special guest coming on the show today. He's going to tell you all the things that's going on in Las Vegas. He's part of the Las Vegas chapter of Chiefs Kingdom. We got Joshua Squishy Cowart on here. How you doing, Joshua?
Oh, pretty good. Just getting ready for this weekend, man. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of things going on.
Yeah, man. We'll definitely get to that in a minute. But before I do, I definitely want to talk about Damar Hamlin. If you guys watched Monday Night Football last night, the Bills and the Bengals, which was shaping up to be probably the game of the year. It was a lot of playoff implications in there. Number one seed is on the line pretty much. It affected the Kansas City Chiefs definitely, but pushing that to the side in the first quarter, 5:58 left in the first quarter. T. Higgins catches the ball. Damar Hamlin tackles him, routine tackle, gets up and then falls back down to the ground. And then next thing you know it, ambulance, CPR. They administering CPR on the man, and players are crying all around him from Buffalo to Cincinnati. It was an unfortunate situation, and I just want to send my prayers and all my continuous condolences to the family. Hopefully he pulls through. From what I'm hearing from reports is that his uncle just reported that he was 100% on oxygen. Now he's 50% on oxygen, so that's a good thing. So he's making progress. He had a toy drive fund that he was trying to raise $25,000, and now it's up to like over $4 million. So that just shows how football can unify people, can bring them together. And when things like this happen, we forget, who we cheer for and who's our rivals and stuff like that. And we come together as people and try to do our best to, be humane, towards each other. And this also shows that, these guys are human. We look at these guys as larger than life figures because they can do things that we simply just can't do. They're running 4.2, 4.3s. They're leaping, jumping, catching footballs, with one hand and tackling, doing all kinds of stuff. And we look at these guys as larger than life. And this shows, that these guys are human just like us. And, unfortunately, stuff like this can happen in the field of play. So we got to be mindful when we're, downplaying a player or talking about a player for our fantasy league or, a player on our team. We got to also remember that, they're human too. So we just got to keep that in mind. So is there any thoughts you want to give, Joshua?
Yeah, really before we get going, I would really just like to let the Bills Kingdom out there, Bills Mafia, I guess is what they're called, know that our thoughts are with them and they're with him and his family also. We're glad to hear that he's doing well, and we hope he comes through this on the top end of it. It's going to be a hard thing, and this is not going to be something that's going to be over next week for
Mhm.
him. So we need to remember him and make sure that we remember the rest of the players out there too. I mean, this is something, life's short, so we
Mhm.
need to make sure we're living it.
Right.
And that
I
last night we all seen that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And I want to give a shout out to ESPN for doing the best job that they can do during that time. They was put in a tough spot, and they did their best to talk about it and try to keep us all as calm as we could be. While watching the game. Booger McFarlane, Ryan Clark, Lisa Salters. Just to name a few. Scott Van Pelt. They did a wonderful job. Trying to make us understand what's going on right now. And
Yeah.
from their viewpoint as former players and some of them are former coaches and just people being close to the game. They did a really good job, so you know all kudos to them too. So, well, all right, man. um Brought you on the show, man, because I wanted you to come on and promote some of the things that you're doing, not just this weekend, but what you've been doing in the Las Vegas community as far as Chiefs Kingdom goes, and just kind of give a tell everybody who you are, what about the Las Vegas Kingdom, where it started from, and all that good stuff.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you bringing me back on your show. I
Hmm.
think it's been just over a year since
Right.
I got to talk with you last on here.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, man, there's a lot going on here in Vegas right now. Me personally, I've been here over 30 years. I went to school out here. I grew up out here.
Okay.
I'm not a Kansas City native.
Right.
I'm more of I chose my team as a kid, and 30 plus years later, I'm still with it. So, but I love my team,
Right.
and I want our community here in Vegas to be a great community. I want it to be a place where people want to come and party with us and watch games with us and have all that.
Hmm.
And about 3 years ago, I had the opportunity to start actually hosting at the bar, our local Blue Diamond Saloon out here, during everything, all the weird stuff going on with COVID. So I
Hmm.
started hosting that, and we've just been rocking and rolling since then. We did a couple really good events last season. We've done a couple small events this season, and then now we're coming into Raiders Chiefs weekend, and we're looking to do a couple more events.
Okay, that's what's up. Do you guys have any activities going on this weekend that anybody who's flying in can look forward to?
Yeah, so I mean, the whole Saturday game is kind of threw a wrench into a lot of plans out there for everybody.
Right.
So we did a lot of scrambling, um, and we had to reschedule some events. So instead of a Saturday invasion like we were planning, we're actually going to do a Red Friday invasion over at the stadium at 4 o'clock on Friday.
Hmm.
Invite everyone to come out, hang out, meet other people from all over the country. We'll go ahead and get a good group photo for everybody out there, and just have a good time, man. Wear your red, bring your flags, bring your gear, and it usually lasts about 45 minutes to an hour. It's not a long event. Um, the parking's usually not the best, so you just kind of park where you can safely in
Hmm.
the area. So we got that event going on for Friday night. Saturday, we have 2 watch parties going on right now
Hmm.
because we picked up a second bar this year
Yeah.
called Jackpot Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
So we have a watch party going on over there, and we have a watch party going on at the original Blue Diamond Saloon, which has been our Chiefs bar here for 20 years in Vegas. So we got both those watch parties going on, which will be sure to be a good time. We'll have a lot of people coming out for the game, enjoying that. They'll be doing some free halftime raffles, and there'll probably be some drink specials and stuff going on with that. Um, as soon as the game's over, we are doing a after party, kind of um, into regular season party. Chiefs, the majority. There's more Chiefs fans in Vegas right now than any other time of the year, so we want to try to get as many of us all together to have a good time and meet each other. So soon as the game's over, invite everyone to come out to Jackpot Bar and Grill. It's over on Jones and Harmon, and just have a good time. Have some drinks, have some food, and check out our newest local Chiefs bar here in Vegas. And other than that, we don't really got a lot going on. I know a lot of people are wanting these tailgates like we see back in Kansas City, and we've seen down in Arizona this year. And I was down there for that. But I just try to explain to people Vegas is not like Arrowhead, or Vegas really isn't like any other stadium in the league.
No,
they really didn't build this stadium for tailgating.
No, they didn't.
The parking lot's probably a quarter of the size of most of these stadiums. They're expecting us all to park at the casinos, stay at the casinos, walk over, those type of situations. So it's sad, but we can't really offer that this season like we had last season. We were able to get a venue close enough to the stadium that we could walk in, but we were unable to get that venue this year.
No.
And that's what we got going on, man.
Well, that's good, man. For all the people who are coming in town this weekend, definitely check out the two bars. I've been to both, Blue Diamond Saloon, and I've been to Jackpot, and both of them. Blue Diamond's more of a bigger atmosphere because it's the OG bar and everybody goes to that one. But Jackpot is growing and it's getting bigger and bigger. More people are coming there. More and more I see, from the photos I see and, some of the videos.
They both definitely have their perks. Blue Diamond Saloon, like I said, it's been a Chiefs bar for 20 plus years. It's a bar. I mean, it can get a little smoky in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dark in there. It can get a little loud in there. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, I'll actually be out there hosting the game this weekend. Okay. And then we have Jackpot Bar and Grill that we just picked up this season. And it has a lot of potential for the future for us. It does have a non-smoking room that seats up to about 30 people with, I think it has 3 big 50, 60-inch screen TVs on the wall. Plus it has a big 8-foot projector up that shoots on one of the walls in there. So there's plenty to see in there. And then they have the regular outside bar where you can get your drinks. If you're a smoker, you can smoke out there, do all that. We've been trying to do free halftime raffles out there every week. And then the food's great. For anyone that's from Vegas, they would know the restaurant called Aloha Kitchen, which is a great little Hawaiian shop out here. It's been around for a very long time. It serves great Hawaiian food. The owner's wife actually owns Aloha Kitchen. So a lot of the food that they have over there is kind of a collaboration between a bar food and a Hawaiian food type mix. So it's just an all around neat little place. And little by little, we're working on getting more stuff up on the walls over there, but it's slow going. I mean, we're not going to do it overnight.
No, not at all. Not at all. But no, it's still a good atmosphere over there. If you want a little bit more open space, you go to Jackpot. If you want to be, more tight, try to get that more Arrowhead experience, you go to Blue Diamond. So
I mean, come playoffs. I mean, I haven't seen playoffs at Jackpot yet, but playoffs at Blue Diamond Saloon, man, it's elbow to elbow, and you ain't sitting down
at all. At all.
It gets busy, it gets packed, man, and it's a lot loud and fun though.
Yeah, it is fun, but if you want to sit down for the playoffs, go to Jackpot
for sure.
So I wanted to get your thoughts, on what you feel how this season has gone so far. Coming into the season, there was a lot of stuff. Tyreek Hill's leaving, and no more Tyrann Mathieu, and everybody thought the Chiefs were going to take a step back. Oh, the AFC West is going to be the division, but the Chiefs are going to be last. And the Chargers and the Broncos and the Raiders are going to take over the division. We hear that. Heard it all season, and here we are, 13-3, won the division for the 7th straight year. Won it before Thanksgiving, by the way. Patrick Mahomes is probably the perennial MVP candidate right now. So I just want to get from your viewpoint, what is your thoughts on the season?
Yeah, so like you said, I mean, going into the season, it was looking like it was going to be hard for us. I mean, and that we were losing a lot of our weapons. But I really got to take my hats off to the management team. I mean, they've came through and brought us in guys that we needed to fill those spots
Mm-hmm.
and filled them well enough that I'm not going to say they were perfect fits. I mean, it was a complete substitute for what we had before,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't take away from who we were.
No.
Um, we are still handling the ball like we needed to, and we're still putting up the points. We're still putting up the yards. We're still stacking up the wins. I mean, we're sitting at 13-2 right now, or is it 13? No, sorry,
13-3.
13-3.
Yeah.
So we're still stacking up the wins. So there's nothing. Man, it's been a long day. What are we at? We're 14.
Hmm.
What's our God?
Our record?
Yeah,
13-3.
13-3. There we go. Sorry, man. It's
Yeah,
been a long day.
it's
Been
all
going
good, man.
all day.
It's all
But
good.
we're still putting up the wins too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean we've had some injuries this year. We have had a penalty problem this year for sure. But we're still putting up the numbers and we're still putting up the points and we're putting up the W's. So that's what's making the difference. I think we do need to tighten up going into the playoffs. These last few games have been a little rough. I mean, and luckily we do have a magician behind the helm making shit happen.
Yeah.
So because without him, it would have been a lot harder of a transition for sure for us.
I agree. I'll say that, like you said, kudos to Brett Veach and that scouting team for bringing in young players, and you know they've had their ups and downs, especially on the defense, because there's a lot of rookies playing on that defense. But these guys are growing up before our eyes. Trent McDuffie looks like a star. Like I love Trent McDuffie, and Nick Bolton, Willie Gay. Second and third year players, they're coming into their own. Chris Jones is just he's Chris Jones, and we need to find a way to keep him and extend him. All this talk about people talking about trading him. Chris Jones don't grow on trees. Like you can't just find that guy in the draft.
No, his energy doesn't grow on trees. I mean, you can see him when he's in the group with people or even on the sidelines with them. He's similar like Pat is, what Pat brings to a group of people. I mean, you put Chris Jones in a group of people and he's going to add energy to that group. So we definitely need to see what we can do to hold on to him.
Yeah, we got to definitely extend because he's going to want that money, but I don't care. You break the bank and you pay Chris Jones because the pass rush wouldn't be what it is without him. So, but I just, like you said, we do need to tighten up. And I think the Chiefs just run into this thing where they just be so ready to get to the playoffs that they slow walk and they just, the margin of error for this team is slimmer than what it was. When we had Tyreek Hill, and I'm not sitting here saying that, Tyreek Hill is the main reason, but when we had him, we can get away with certain things because we could score so fast. Like, Pat will throw a pass to him, he'll take it 90 yards down the field, and it'll erase the fumble or erase an interception, or, it just. And then special teams, it's just it's been great this year. Like they need to get that handled before the playoffs because all we need is Buckner to miss a field goal because I don't know if it's Tommy not holding the ball right, like Colquitt said, or if it's all Buckner just he's still not healthy. But they got to get that corrected. And on kickoff, this is probably the worst this team has been on kickoff and punt return. Yeah. Like we're known to have good to great punt returners back there, and they guys are muffing the punts and fumbling, and it's just not good. And that's all we need to do that against Buffalo.
But I do have to say I'm happy to see that Sky Morris has not been on the special teams lately.
Yeah,
guys, he's great offense. He's a great player. He's a good catcher. He's a good runner.
Yeah,
but man, there's something about being back there for him that just doesn't seem to work yet. I mean, in the future it may, but right now it does not.
and it's not all his fault. I mean, he's never done it before, and people don't understand how hard to be a punt returner. Like you got to
Mhm.
have timing, and you got to know when to catch the ball and go, or catch it at fair catch. And he's never done that before. So, and you trying to get him to do it on the highest of level, he didn't even do it in
Right. No,
college.
and I get that. I get that. I just it's kind of hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. It is.
Watch him out there learning. So
Yeah. And so, and hopefully, I know he fumbled, but he fumbled by catching the ball. So hopefully Kadarius Toney can hopefully shore up the punt return, because you see the explosiveness, you see the playmaking ability, even on offense. Is just, him putting it all together,
yeah.
on punt return. So, but as far as the expectation, as far as this team goes, like I said, we're right back to where we are. I know we didn't win against Buffalo. I know we didn't beat Cincinnati this year, but wasn't like we lost to those guys like by 2-3 touchdowns. We
No,
lost
I
by
mean if you go back and watch them, I mean a lot of that was we gave it to them. I
yeah.
mean
Mm-hmm.
there was so many plays that we should have been able to do
Mm-hmm.
that we didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't take it from us. We gave it to them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, most definitely. So we made too many costly mistakes. And when you make mistakes against those good teams, they're
right,
gonna bite you. They're gonna get
right,
you.
they're going to capitalize on it for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I still have confidence that this team, if they can put it all together in the playoffs, that
Mhm.
we could definitely make it to the Super Bowl and represent the AFC and win the Super Bowl. So, as long as we got 15, I'm always gonna feel like we have a chance. So now going into this, now that they switched up the game schedule and everything, what is your expectations for this game?
Well, they shortened us a day for practice.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, obviously, we still need to come and play.
Right.
We're not done.
No.
This number one seat is still there. I
Yeah.
mean, we don't know how that's all going to play out at this point, but
Right.
it's still up in the air. So we need to make sure we're still playing for it.
Hmm.
Um, and we didn't look super strong last week when we should have.
Hmm.
And Raiders actually looked pretty strong last week
They did.
with this no name quarterback coming in there.
Hmm.
And obviously I don't blame him. He's in there trying to make it a name for himself. He wants that starting position. If
Right.
it's not there, he wants it somewhere else. So
Right.
I think that we really need to watch out and be careful and be ready for him this weekend. We can't. This is not a give me game. We can't
No,
walk in there like it's a give me game.
not at all. Yeah. The Raiders are going to try to play spoiler. They want to play spoiler. They don't want us to get the number one seed.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want us to have an easy path to the Super Bowl. So definitely they're going to come to play, strap it up. And Jared Stidham, he's not going to lay down because, like you said, he's trying to keep maybe the Raiders' job or try to get a job somewhere else.
Right.
And, I wasn't too much surprised about Jared Stidham playing good because he's played in McDaniel's system with the Patriots. So he knows the system. So I wasn't surprised that he stepped right in and played really well. But yeah, most definitely they cannot go in here slow walking and thinking they could just show up and win the game. That's
Right.
no, they can't do that. They can't make mistakes, fumbling the football or penalties, holding penalties on defense and pass interference, all that stuff. We can't, make it harder on. They can't make it harder on themselves because
Right. Yeah. Our third down. We need to do better on our third down this week. And that red zone, man, we got it. We got to capitalize better in that red zone. And
yeah,
so
that's where I think we're missing Miko Hardman. When Miko was in, he was actually a red zone threat. He, would definitely be, he would definitely boost our chances of getting into the red zone.
yeah.
So hopefully we can get him back. Probably not this week. I heard he was practicing. I heard he was on the field today.
Yeah. So when I was looking at the reports, they said he's expected for this week. So we'll see. But he's been expected for the past few weeks also.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that plays out. I want him back, man. I love the kid. He's amazing. I bought his jersey the first year he came out.
Mm-hmm.
and just watching what he did in college, and then as soon as he got there as a rookie, I'm really impressed with the guy on and off the field. Impressed with him. So
Yeah.
hopefully he heals up and gets back out there with us for the playoffs at least.
Yeah, yeah, because we're definitely gonna need Nico, especially with the jet sweeps and the, the little end around stuff that he does at the line of scrimmage. Throw it to him in a screen pass and he takes it 30, 40 yards because he has the speed. And I want to see
Mm-hmm.
him and Kadarius Tony out there together with their playmaking ability. See what Andy Reid can scheme up with those two guys on the field. Because if you can scheme up something to where you put one of them in motion, the other guy doing something else, that's something that the defenses have not prepared for. Kadarius Tony, they haven't prepared for him yet because
Mm-hmm.
they haven't seen him in his offense really. They've seen him a few plays, so he's definitely could be a secret weapon to say in the playoffs that could, definitely get us over the hump when we play the better teams like the Bengals, like the Buffalo Bills, or even the Chargers. Because the Chargers are surging right now and they're finally in the playoffs. So
Right.
they're definitely a team that you got to watch out for because they're getting healthy. And they got all their receivers. Joey Bosa's coming back. So that defense is going to be a lot better than what it's been. Without Joey Bosa, he definitely boosters their pass rush. So um, those are the teams that we're going to have to worry about. So we're definitely going to need all of our array of weapons on the offense. So now, before I get you out of here, man, what is a score prediction that you have?
Oh man, I'm thinking I'm thinking Raiders are going to put points on the board. I don't think they're going to put more than 20 points on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to be around about 18, and then I think we're going to come through
Mm-hmm.
and tighten up like we're supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we can get it probably close to the uh, about 30, 35, 36, somewhere in there.
Okay.
So I think we can almost double their points this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go 31-21. I think the defense shows up. I think Chris Jones has a big game this week. George Karlaftis, I think he extends his sack streak, 6 sacks. Uh, so I think he's gonna get a sack, and I just think this offense. I think Patrick Mahomes is gonna play with a fire lit to stamp this MVP. I mean, he's already stamped it to me, but just this the last game of the season. It's going to be the only, one of the two games on Saturday. So everybody's going to be watching. So I
Mm-hmm.
think he's going to try to put on the show and try to,
Well,
solidify
it
the
don't take
MVP.
much for him to show up for
Yeah, it doesn't. It
to
doesn't.
impress for sure.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't. It doesn't. But I do think he's going to have a great game. So well, so all right, man. It was great having you on again, man, this year, man. And I love the work that you're doing out here for Chiefs Kingdom, man. It's definitely, it's something that I enjoy seeing and loving to see because, you know, not every city, that's outside of Kansas City has a Chiefs Kingdom, representation. So for to have one out here in Las Vegas, is a beautiful thing, So I appreciate everything that you put together and everything that you're doing out here for the kingdom.
for sure, man. Well, I'm glad I could be a part of it. I mean, like I said, I kind of just fell into it, but
Mhm.
we're running with it and we're having a good time. Before we get off, I want to shout out to arrowheadkingdom.org.
Mhm.
Um, it's a website. I don't know if you've checked it out yet, but they kind of bring together all the different chapters throughout the U.S. on that
Okay.
website. You can go on there, and if you're going to uh, Atlanta, you can go on there and find out where the local Chiefs bar is in Atlanta. If there's any
Mhm.
events coming up, if we're playing in Atlanta, something like that, you want to find out about events. They get them all posted up on that website and stuff like that. So I want to give Josh and Doug a shout out over there. They take great care of that website. Keep it updated, man. They already got us. I put a I set up that after party event this morning, and it's already up on their website. So I just want to shout out to them because they're a lot of help for sure.
And is there any websites or social media stuff that they could find the Las Vegas Kingdom stuff on?
Yeah, so we're on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You can find us on there as KC Chiefs dash Las Vegas Kingdom. You can also just search lvchiefs.com, and which takes you to our little link tree, which connects you up with the Instagram and connects you up with my own personal squishy page, where I try to share information and funny shit on from time to time and
Right.
stuff like that. So yeah, if they go to lvchiefs.com, it can get you to the link tree where you can see what's going on out there.
Cool. And I'll put everything in the description box down at the bottom on the YouTube. So definitely check that out, Chiefs Kingdom. All right, Squishy, I thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate you, man. Hopefully we get a W this weekend and we get ready for the playoffs.
For
Man.
sure. Thanks for having me on here, and I look forward to seeing you out at the bar again soon.
Definitely be out there real soon, man.
See you.
Peace. All right, Chiefs Kingdom. It is. I don't think what's your name is going to be here today. I don't know if Clarence is coming in. Like 5:34, so trying to hold out a little bit, see if he's coming in. But I did want to give this report of you know the DeMar Hamlin thing. Back to that. You know, I know right now people are not thinking about football and not thinking about the games right now because we're pulling for this young man to hopefully, you know what I'm saying, and all signs are looking like he's making progress. Like I said earlier, his uncle said he went from 100% on oxygen to 50% on oxygen. So uh, that's definitely a great thing, definitely a beautiful thing. Uh, I hope I'm pulling and praying for the young man. And it's just it's a testament of prayer is real, man. And I believe God heard all our prayers and allowing this young man, because he is a young man. He's 24 years old, second year in his career, um, uh, playing a sport that he loves to play. Uh, Played in Pittsburgh college. He played in Pittsburgh for college. Is well loved, and you can see it in his locker room that he's well loved from. They say him and Stephon Diggs are really close. He's really, you can tell what's his name? Travarius White. He looked like he's really close to him. They're both DBs, so he's probably, took him under his wing. And so it's a tragic situation that happened on that field. And like I said, it's the reality of this sport, and how, it could be taxing on their bodies, man. And they put their bodies out there and put it all on the line, man. And they do it because they love the sport, or they do it because they trying to make a better future for their families, and especially with DeMar Hamlin being a 6th round pick, he probably had his journey is nothing like a 1st round pick, like a Trent McDuffie. you know Kansas City Chiefs are going to give Trent McDuffie all the opportunities to succeed because he is a 1st round pick, and they want to make good on that 1st round pick. Whereas in DeMar Hamlin, yes, he was picked, but he was picked in the 6th round, and his journey was going to be a little bit harder to make it on the team. He's got to fight every day to make the team, and anytime he shows a little bit of slip up, that could he could be on somebody else's team. He can get cut, be on somebody else's team. So like I said earlier, man, it just shows the humanity. And these guys are humans just like us. They go through stuff just like us. And when we're on Twitter and we're downplaying a player, talking trash, it's nothing wrong with critiquing a player's play. But I've always, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm not sitting up here saying I'm holier than now and I'm above or approach. I'm talking to myself too. Is we can get a little bit too personal with our critiques and get to calling them names, or whether we say they're bums or they're trash or whatever. At the end of the day, they're out there trying their best to make it on the sport that's one of the hardest, if not the hardest sport in the world, because the NFL, there's no simulation for this. There's no minor leagues. There's no nothing. They've tried it. True, they've tried to make other football leagues to simulate what the NFL does, and they've all folded. So that speaks to the testament on how hard this league is, and so it speaks to the testament of when you see these guys on the field that are playing, they had to, these are the best of the best, and we can't, we sometimes we take that for granted, because you see somebody like a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen or Joe Burrows or Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. You see these guys making spectacular passes and catches, and you know doing things on the football field that we can only imagine. We think that they're larger in life and they're making millions of dollars, and so we think that we could just come at them any type of way, and no, we can't. So we got to hopefully this makes us stop, be mindful, that these guys are human too, and that they are men, that put their pants on one foot after the other, just like us. So my prayers go out to Damar Hamlin and his family. My prayers go out to the Buffalo Bills organization. And my prayers go out to all the players, man, that that I just pray, Lord, I pray that they just get through the season, get the rest of the season, and hopefully this makes them a little bit more aware of what's going on. How short this life is, and how short this game, this career. Don't take this career on. These players don't take this career for granted, and always cherish every moment when you're on that field. So um yeah, and as far as the like I was about to say, the commissioner, he pretty much said that they are not resuming the game this week. The game is not going on this week. Week 18 is going to go on as scheduled, so the Buffalo Bills will probably end up playing on Sunday against the New England Patriots, whereas the Bengals will just be playing against the Ravens on Sunday. Now I don't know. Um, they just said this week, so I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're gonna push the game to another week, because unfortunately we do have to get back to football, and a decision has to be made whether they make this game a no contest, whether they make this game a tie, whether they make this game or they make the game up. Nobody's going to be, it's a lose-lose situation, because this game has number one seed implications. If Buffalo would have won last night, Buffalo would be the number one seed right now. If Cincinnati won last night, the Chiefs would be the number one seed. Will have a chance to, they have the number one seed, and they would have a chance to secure it if they win out. If the Chiefs lose this weekend and the Bengals beat the Ravens this weekend, then the Bengals would have a chance to get the number one seed. So it's a lot of moving parts, and they got to figure this thing out. And it's gonna go to, does Buffalo, does Cincinnati, do they care? How much of this? How much of the football side of it do they care about, or do they just say, you know what, our mental state is more important. Let's just get ready for the playoffs. I don't care. We don't care for the second seed. We don't care for the third seed. We're just gonna go into the playoffs and be ready to go. It's gonna be interesting to see if what they're gonna do. It definitely is, and it's definitely gonna be something to watch out for. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this thing. If you look down at the bottom, you'll see the website emqpodcast.com/locker dash room. You'll see the locker, that is the locker room I access for every morning quarterback. Shout out to every morning quarterback, the sponsor. If you look at down there, you'll go to their website. It says locker room access. It'll have access to many podcasts all around the, all around the league, from a 49ers one, a Chargers one, a Jets one, a Patriots one, and also ours, Arrowhead Chief Podcast. You can go there, click on the banner, you'll go to the link, and you'll just, you can see all of our episodes from recent ones to the past ones. So checked out. Also they have a podcast on YouTube, every morning quarterback, with Anthony, Brandon, Connor, and Zach. They talk about everything league wide. They talk about they even got betting tips. So go ahead and check them out. Give them a like, give them a subscribe, follow them on Twitter and Instagram at EMQ Podcast. Give them a follow and check out their content, because they have really good content. And if you're a first time watcher and you just want to listen to the audio, you're not really a YouTube person, or you're not really, watching the stuff on Facebook or Twitter, you can listen to our audio on all streaming platforms, from Spotify to Anchor to Google to Apple to Stitcher, Breaker, any streaming platform that you use to get your podcast. Arrowhead Chief Podcast is on there. Check us out. And if you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, uh, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, um, and TikTok. You can follow us on all those social media sites. Uh, we'll follow you back. We're not Hollywood over here. We're fans just like you. So go ahead, follow us, subscribe to the channel, the YouTube channel. I mean, follow us on all platforms. We'll follow you back. You got any critiques? You got any feedbacks? You got anything that you want to talk to us about? Uh, Hit us up. And if you got any topics you want us to talk about, you got questions, you want things that we want to bring up, hit us up. We're open. We want to bring y'all the best chief content, because you didn't have to come to watch us, but you chose to do so anyway. So go ahead and hit us up, and just remember, talk to us nice and normal. Don't come at us on no bull. Don't try to stick your chest out. Just talk to us normal, and we'll answer your questions. We'll answer you back. So, all right, Chiefs Kingdom. Once again, prayers to all that was affected about the events last night. Prayers to Damar Hamlin and his family. Praying that he continues to progress, and hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Uh, and just be cool, Chiefs Kingdom. Till next time.